The disaster is the part of the story where everything comes crashing down. It's where the hero's internal conflict runs headfirst into the external conflict. It's where our hero begins to become remade. Welcome to Writing Quest. Hello and welcome to Writing Quest. My name is Brendan Pugh, and in today's episode we are talking about how to write and outline the disaster, which is the kind of beginning of Act 3 and what launches the hero into the end of the book. First, make sure you check out the book on Wattpad. We are writing our epic fantasy novel and documenting the whole process. A little slow in the writing these days, but stay tuned to the end of the episode to see where our progress is on that. Here we go. So a little bit about the disaster. Basically what it is, it's the moment right before they learn the crucial lesson of the book. So it's kind of where everything of their internal conflict comes into contact with all the external events, and it just clashes together and everything goes wrong. So it comes right after the supposed victory where they think they've won. And so it goes from the highest point and it just crashes down to the lowest point. It goes right into the moment where it's like, there's no hope. It's all gone. Everything's dead. We lost. Give up. Done. It's a really important moment. It's a really big moment. And so for our characters, it's going to be definitely something that hits for everybody. And so I'm going to talk about that now. I'm going to maybe save some of it. I know I've said I'm going to give away all the stuff in the book, but I have a couple of twists that I think I want to keep to myself for the people who want to eventually read this book. So here we go. We're going to go to our protagonist, Ro. And for Ro, what's going to happen is, so basically the events of the chapters of the disaster are essentially, so they've found the Evertree, they've found where they're supposed to go, and now the Wraith Walkers are going to attack them again, but this time the person who is the leader of the Wraith Walkers, or the person we think's the leader of the Wraith Walkers, appears. So it's a kind of a crucial moment for the story where we also learn that they're not just mindless beasts, but they actually have a purpose and they're being controlled by someone. And that's really important. But then also it's how this person relates to our characters. And so they basically start getting chased towards the Evertree. It's called, the flight to the Evertree. They're running. They're trying to save their people. They know if they can get to it that they'll be saved, or that's the hope anyways. And so basically, the next couple chapters of this whole thing become a big chase scene and a big battle. And what's going to happen in that battle is going to be a couple things. So for Ro, the big thing that's going to happen is that she's going to try to save her family and her mother is going to die. So big spoiler alert there. This is going to be kind of the moment where it's like, she's spent this whole story idolizing her father and trying to figure out all this stuff. And then she's going to lose her mother. She's going to lose her mother. Guyan is going to get injured. People are going to die. It's going to be this huge thing. And so she's going to, when they get to the part where it's like the darkest moment where she is struggling with all this stuff, I mean, she's going to be dealing with some heavy grief. She thought she was on the right path and doing the right thing. And then she finally loses the last link of like her family. For Artemis, this will be big because, he's already struggling with his own leadership, and then he thinks he's finally done it. He's finally done it. And then he totally failed. He totally was unable to save them, unable to kind of get them to where they had to go. Guyan, on the other hand, he'll have a different thing so he's going to end up kind of getting injured. I think a lot of people are going to get injured, but he's going to get really injured to the point of it'll affect him probably for the rest of the series. And, this is going to set up a cool moment. He's the hardened warrior. Ro is, this kid who thinks she's a hardened warrior, but this is kind of her first experience with, the bad things of the world. And so, it'll set up a cool moment for them later where they can kind of finally reconcile and he can talk to her and explain some things to her. There's going to be another big moment in this scene that I'm going to keep to myself for just a moment until I write it. I kind of want to save it. It's going to be really cool, I think. which is really going to make this all hit home. So basically, they're just going to go from the I've been saved, we saved everybody, to we didn't save anybody. And not only that, it's going to hit each of our main characters very differently on how it is a disaster for them. So that's kind of where we're headed for the disaster. It's another, same as some of the other moments in this last little few videos. It's a small moment as far as time taken up in the book, but it's the biggest moment. It's a big moment for the book. So I'm really excited to write it. I think it's going to set up the rest of the series really well. This particular moment, it kind of sets up the nature of, who's the bad guy, who's the not bad guy. How does it all flow together and set up some of the generational stuff that's going to happen in this series later on. So I'm really excited to write it. The writing of the book is going slow. Like I said, I haven't really made a whole lot of progress. It's been a busy time around here. And so I'm hoping to get back into that here soon and start posting new writings and start really cranking along on some progress. So please check it out on Wattpad if you have. If you haven't subscribed, if you're new here, please do that too. Comment as well. Let's get the discussion going. If you want, we just released a Notion template called our Simple Writers Book Outliner. We did a video on that a few weeks ago. And so feel free to check that out and let us know if it helps you, if it's something that would help you write your novels, and if there's anything else that we could potentially make that might make the novel writing process easier. So you can check that out in a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching Writing Quest. My name is Brendan Pugh, as I said, and we are so excited to be writing this book and producing these videos for you. So we hope you enjoy them. We will see you next time on Writing Quest. Huzzah!